Hello YouTube, this is Morgan, Airspeed Prime here with my next Attack on Titan anime review. This one's going to be for Season 3, Episode 16, which is Perfect Game. And yeah, this was another very good episode of Attack on Titan. Basically, this is the one that basically puts the scouts into a position where it seems like they've lost. Both sides of the wall, both, I suppose, the rookie scouts, on the inside of the wall fighting against the Colossal Titan, and then Levi and Commander Erwin on the outside against the Beast Titan. Both sides face what seem to be insurmountable odds, and it's about, I suppose, giving any ray of hope, regardless of, if there's any, actual, logical reason it could be a success. And I think there's some nice subtle character stuff in here as well, like with Armin unable to do anything with, I suppose, his miscalculation with Bertold, and them being unable to distract him from just basically turning Shiganshina into just this flaming wreckage all over the place. It's left for Jean to actually take over, and I like this in that it's this thing where he is actually the one more suited to be a leader than, the rest of the team. Connie is, I think, too quick to sort of lose heart. Sasha's probably a little bit too odd at times. And then Mikasa probably isn't suited to be a leader, mainly because of the whole Eren thing. So it is Armin who should be the best leader but lacks confidence. And then there's Jean who has the attitude to be a good leader, but, doesn't necessarily have the clever plans of, Commander Erwin or Armin. So, he does what he can to just get them to safety, just to get them anywhere. But he again gets the idea of, that, ultimately, Armin, it's on you to come up with a clever plan, because the only plan he has is to, we have to at least try and attack, and Eren stops the Colossal Titan's foot, but he just gets kicked away after a second, and it's pretty crazy the impact of just Eren, who is obviously kind of like a mid-range Titan in terms of how big he is, just gets completely smashed up onto the top of the wall. And then the others try a Thunder Spear attack, but the Colossal Titan's steam power just wins in the end. So that's the setup there, that they're basically they're going to have to figure out the details of the Colossal Titan's, steam defense. And if they can get around that, ultimately they actually have a chance, because Bertolt can only move so quickly, so he can't do the typical, quick defenses that a Bertolt Reiner could do. The other thing that happens is that the Armored Titan actually gets back up, so it gets even worse. We thought that he was completely taken out of the battle, but he's actually back up and running again. So that further turns things in the bad direction for the scouts. But yeah, the setup here is just that we're waiting for Armin to come up with a plan. John can only do so much, and the others are just kind of waiting for some sort of an idea, because it's a pretty bad situation. Eren is sort of on his own on top of the wall, unable to really do anything right now. He's not injured as such, but I suppose the idea is that the blow against the wall was so heavy, he's sort of been kind of rendered a little bit unconscious, but I think the idea is he's going to get back up fairly shortly. He was just taken out for the sequence. But most of the episode is about the other side of the wall. Obviously the even more newer scouts protecting the horses, while you have Levi and Commander Erwin who comes down as well. And the basic idea here is that it seems like things are going well. They're mopping up a lot of the kind of smaller Titans, and this is when the Beast Titan chooses to attack. And as expected, he does his sort of baseball throws again. We saw these in the previous season and stuff like that. But it's even worse here, because he's getting these huge rocks, crumbling them up, and then just hurling them at the line of houses that's basically protecting the horses. And it's the way they showed it is just brutal, of just the scouts who are doing well on the front lines just get taken apart by all this rubble because of how quickly it's thrown. and it just keeps on happening over and over again. And by the end of this initial assault, it's just Erwin, Levi, and the most rookie of the rookies who kind of joined fairly recently. They're protecting the horses, and at this point, kind of morale just completely breaks down. Like, things are bad inside the wall, but it's kind of even worse here, because at least our group can sort of maneuver around with the maneuver gear and escape to a certain degree, and they have some sense of a plan. They will, I suppose, have some sense of a plan. Here, they really have nothing. And even when, we get to the end of the episode and what the plan actually ends up being, it's just that we have to sacrifice our lives to give Levi a chance to, kill the Beast Titan. That's all that there is. So you have a very emotional scene from Erwin giving, the heart-to-heart talk with Levi about how he really wishes he didn't have to do this. He didn't have to be the one to lead the suicide cavalry charge, but it has to be him. If he doesn't, then it has to be him, because he will be the one to get everyone to do this. And without it, the morale will just completely fall apart, and their side of the plan just fails completely. So he has to be willing to put his hopes and dreams on the line for this, because he again reiterates that he wants to see what's in the basement. That's what all of this has been for. But he accepts at this point that he's not going to get to see it realistically. He has to be the one right there at the front leading the charge, which means he's probably going to die. And I like it because it's a really serious moment between Erwin and Levi, who obviously know each other so well. And Levi's kind of like, okay, if this is the only chance, then yeah, do it. Die to give me that chance. And I like the setup because it's a terrible situation for Levi to be in, it's all on you. You are going to get one slight opening as we give the biggest distraction imaginable, as we just charge with everything at him. You get one opportunity. You have to be at your absolute best to do it. So I suppose after seeing everyone go down, we are going to see Levi at 120% doing some crazy stuff. And I suppose the idea is how strong is the Beast Titan? The throws, the intelligence is good, but up close, will he be able to hold his own? Is the big question. But yeah, they definitely got across the idea of just we haven't had it as much recently, but the focus on just the sort of rank and file dying basically for nothing, which was the early themes of the series. But of late, obviously Bertold led to the death of so many of them in the last episode. Now here we see another huge group of people go down, and kind of what Erwin, I suppose the idea is how many missions has he led where it's basically just resulted in a pile of bodies. And I like the visuals that they did of just showing the idea of just he doesn't forget about all those people, even though he feels those are the decisions that he has to make. He always remembers the comrades, and especially the moment of some of those kind of newer recruits really breaking down at this point. It's meaningless. What are we even doing here? What's the point of protecting the horses if there's going to be no one to go on them? And Erwin's speech, at least, I suppose, convinces them to do something, that it's better to die fighting, giving at least a chance, than to just, I suppose, live a little bit longer, but die basically doing nothing, just hiding behind some houses and hoping something happens. And I like it because he basically kind of says, what about all the people who died before us? They had dreams too, just like you do. And yeah, in the grand scheme of things, they don't mean anything when you just get hit by a boulder and die immediately. But they died for something, and I suppose them dying leads you to have meaning in what you're doing, and it's just this kind of cycle that continues. That as long as there's someone left, dreams can be fulfilled even if you don't get to see them, I suppose, is the idea. And yeah, we then get the plan in action, and it is, as they say, just a suicidal cavalry charge. They don't really confirm if it's just like, did they just use all of the horses, like they're just giving up on that idea. But I suppose the idea is ultimately that they're going for such a wide formation here, which is, you know, a good plan. That's the best way to do it, because if they all just grouped up in one column, I suppose one good shot could take everyone out. They used the flares as a kind of smoke screen type thing to distract him, to put his aim off. In that, I suppose from their perspective, the idea is that when he's looking at us to aim, he's going to see more in his vision the smoke that we threw up, more so than the horses on the ground, and it will slightly throw his aim off. But as we see, once he launches the first blow, it just comes in and they get wrecked. Like, immediately they show, like, Erwin is like the second person to be hit by one, and he takes a blow right to the side of the stomach. So my interpretation of it is that I don't think he's immediately dead. I think it's going to be like he's able to move. He's just going to see the carnage unfold in front of him, and will maybe be able to have one final moment before everything goes down. But again, we'll have to wait and see. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's coming, of course. So yeah, you know, pretty crazy ending. I do feel that they are absolutely setting up something along the lines of, you know, the death of Erwin. This is, I think, the early setup for it. I don't think this is a Reiner situation where it's going to be as simple as just, you know, oh, he survived somehow. This kind of feels like just the setup that they've had with Erwin, of just like standing on top of the wall, just watching everything happen, him mentioning the amount of people he's led to their deaths, and now it seems like he's involved in that and it's happened. I can't really see them going against that, but we'll have to wait and see where exactly they go. So yeah, I think another strong episode. Obviously the setup is that we're waiting for Armin to come up with some sort of a good idea. We want to see how Eren deals with the fact that he was kind of, I suppose, defeated so easily, and if there's a more clever plan to come up with. And yeah, most notably, is Levi going to be able to, I suppose, perform the assassination that he's meant to do? Because the idea is that, like, he takes off to the side and basically starts from the furthest Titan, and is going to just basically hop along the line of Titans that are lined up beside the Beast Titan, and eventually get to him and, you know, take them out. So I suppose we'll have to wait and see what the dynamics of that are like, of just like how far away is he compared to how far the cavalry charge is away from the Beast Titan, and so on. But yeah, like I said, a good episode. In the comments, let me know what your thoughts are on it. But that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.